Hey guys, it's Tadpole here. I'm going to do another painting for you guys. I am actually leaving, and I have a Dungeons and Dragons group, D&D group that I wanted to do a little commemorative piece for. Going to try and do probably a bunch of them where all all crowded together, squished together for a painting or something. I don't know. It's going to be real fun. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, get the sketch, get the line work all done, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about coloring process a little bit. So I'll get to work, go into time lapse, and I'll meet you when we're ready to talk about colors. So now that I've got all of that done, that was a solid day's work. So now that I've got some nice clean lines, we're going to want to put in some color. And to do that, what I'm going to want to do is we're going to want to make a mask for each of these characters, and then we can work separately in their own space. So, you know, probably the easiest way of doing that is I'm going to hit W to go to the wand tool. I'm on the line layer. And we'll just turn that off. And let's start with Xanthan down here. What we can do is we can just select in each of these boxes, and I've taken care to make sure that a good portion, if not all, of my lines are closed off, which will make things a bit easier, quite a bit easier. Alright, so I think that's most everything selected. Then we're going to want to expand that, and I've created a keyboard shortcut. Let's see if I remember it. Let's Control Shift E. Yep, there we go. Yeah, I hotkeyed this because I use this a bunch. Expand selection 4 pixels. Let's try 5. See where that lands us. Basically, we're wanting to expand it so it hits the middle of the line, not the edges of the line. And the tricky part is that these lines are kind of variable in thickness. So let's expand that by another 3. Well, 8 pixels total. Yeah, that'll land us in a good spot. Right there, that looks just about right. And I'm gonna go in with the lasso tool and clean anything up. Like, oh, hey. I said go in with the lasso tool. There we go. I'm gonna clean up. I just put it on the add. Instead of creating its own selection, it's just adding to the selection. I'm just gonna go in, lasso any of these parts that didn't get selected, looking for any spots that were missed. It looks like that. Oop. There we go. Get that in there. Get that. He's all part of that. And you know what? Let's add his feather. I'm going to do that by hand because these lines are not connecting. You can see. And so I'm just going to go in and by hand select each of these, and I mean I'll be able to go in and touch things up a little bit later. Because it's not 100% set in stone, this selection. Basically we're just streamlining the process just a little bit, trying to make things a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, and then we can touch things up. So I'm actually going to just go real fast, and I'm going to be pretty sloppy, and then we'll touch it up in a second when we go into the paintbrush. Because basically what we're doing is we're creating a mask that will act as like a painting. It'll help us stay within the lines and make it easy, so we don't have to be, you know, super up close, you know, just trying to paint in each of these lines. It'll make it quicker and faster and nicer and coolio. Okay, so we're gonna go and add a new layer. We're gonna title this one Xanthan Flats. And so that's the flat colors. And then we're going to go down here and create clipping mask. Doink. and there it is. And now what that means is when we paint with a color other than black, like this, we can paint all over and it will only stay within his appointed space. How cool is that? However, let's go in and just edit this mask a little bit. We'll just go into, I just right clicked and went selected select and mask. And this was where we're gonna do a little bit of refining. Okay, and the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn up the edge detection radius just a little bit, just so I get a little bit smarter, smoother, something like that. Just so that this, because this is going to be a sort of a nebulous area, it'll just make things a little bit smoother. Okay. That should be good. Let me check, make sure everything is nice. Okay. Perfect. There we go. And that's our mask for the xanthan flats. And then we can go in and paint whatever we like. Oh, whoops. I was painting on the mask layer. Don't do that. There we go. We can paint whatever we like. And good old xanthan here will be colored, and only xanthan will be colored. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and I'm going to make a mask for all of the characters. So we'll hit it into time-lapse and we'll come back when I'm done with that. All right, cool. So we got all of those, bunch of different masks laid out, all in different layers, and we'll be able to basically use these and then copy these over, and yeah, it'll be great. But now, because of these masks, we can go in and color however we want, and it'll be fine, and we don't have to worry about staying in the lines. At least, you know, you could go further and do a mask for each separate element. That, to me, is more work than it's worth, I think, at that point. Plus, then you're just getting into, at least with a piece this complicated, with this many characters, you'd be getting into the probably hundreds of layers at that point. That's just a little bit too much. And by little, I mean a whole lot. That is too many layers. But since we've got, you know, a mask for each individual character, at least we'll be able to work on each character separately and get the colors laid down for them. And we'll still have to do a little bit of work in differentiating the color, but you know, it'll be fine. It'll be a whole lot easier. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for part one. We spent a long time working on the sketches and the lines, getting those ready. We also spent some time getting the masks and everything, get everything prepped for color. So next time we're going to start with the flats and the shading, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Hope to see you there.